What's up, YouTube? Here again as promised. Gonna give a walk around video on the ASV RT40 as planned. Sorry it took so long to get to it. I'm here now trying to get glass on the machine, the rear glass. I'll go ahead and show you what I mean about that. As you can see, the rear window's out. I had to use the escape hatch on the second job that I used the machine on. All right, so we got the back window back in. The story behind that is on the second job I was using this machine. It was making a little squeaky noise or something like that. I don't know how to really describe it. It was squealing. It sounded like it could be a pulley or a belt related issue. So I didn't know what it was. And then all of a sudden I got an error code on the machine, but it said least severe. And it didn't say, it just said unknown. So I kept working, and then maybe about 10-15 minutes later I got another code. This time it was flashing red. It said most severe, and I guess the machine was starting to get hot, so it shut off. Anyhow, the loader arm was up by like an inch or two, so the door wouldn't open, so I kicked out the back window. Come to find out, the belt had loosened up, and so it wasn't spinning anymore, therefore it wasn't cooling itself, nor was it charging the battery anymore, so I also had to jump the battery. I later found out from the service technician at the dealer that I purchased it from that apparently it's a common issue on the RT40s. I guess the first run of them, I don't know is how he put it to me. So I tightened the belt up. After I jumped it, it started back up, it cooled properly, and so on and so forth. Apparently it didn't do any damage. I guess it shuts off before it has time to really do any damage. So that's the deal behind that. I haven't actually replaced the belt yet. I do have a new one that I purchased for like $30 or something like that, so I'll try to put that on in the coming weeks. Here's a set of forks and the grapple that I also got from MTL. They've been good so far. I can't complain about that. Let's look at the engine real quick. On the RT40, it's got a Kubota engine, I believe, instead of the Perkins diesel that's found in the RT25s. Can't really get too much of a good view here, but it's been a great motor so far, other than the stupid belt, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about on that for anybody that ends up buying one of these, to save you the headache that I had. It's just the belt right here. It's kind of hard to see, and you can see it looks like it flared up a little bit around the edges, because it still squeals a little bit, but it's nice and tight now. So yeah, it's good to go. Anyhow, let's see, what else can we check out? It's just a pretty good machine. Oh, the only other thing that I've replaced on this machine is the fittings here. Unfortunately, the ones that were here, I don't know if they were gummed up or corroded or whatever, even though the machine had less than 100 hours on it. For whatever reason, when I tried to plug the grapple in, it just wouldn't work. I got really frustrated, started beating on it with a 5-pound hammer, which I'm sure didn't help at all. But, you know, when you're out in the heat and you just want to get back to making money, you can get really frustrated. Anyhow, I broke both of those fittings, so I replaced both of those and both of the ones on the grapple. At about $50 a piece. I ended up spending about $200 in hydraulic fittings, so that was not too pleasant. Other than that, I have no complaints about the machine so far. The bucket, of course, is kind of tiny, but I mean, it is what it is. It'll lift anything you can put in there. Concrete. Let's see, I've done pavers. I did a paver job with it. I did, I moved a ton of gravel, obviously, and crush and run for that, sand and all that kind of stuff. It did really well with that. So yeah, you know, it's a little tiny, so you do have to make more trips. The suspension is really good on the ASV machines. It's a really smooth ride. Mine's a little dirty. I need to clean it up. Like I said, I haven't used this machine much at all. So there's that. Anyways, let's see if I can get in here. Let you check out the inside. It's got a nice suspension seat in it. It's fairly comfortable, actually. It does have joystick controls, which is taking a little bit of me getting used to. The last machine I had was an old Bobcat 753, which had foot controls. So every once in a while, I'm still in the learning phase a little bit. I go forward with both joysticks, thinking I'm gonna go forward, and all I do is doing crazy stuff with a bucket. So anyways, let's see, get in here. Standard lap bar, we got your rear view mirror, here we go, we got the throttle, windshield wiper, parking brake. The headlights are really bright on this unit. It's great for night work. Got a cigarette lighter here. There's also another one down low somewhere. I don't know where that's at, but I saw it before. We got a cup holder here, phone holder here. You got your buttons for your auxiliaries here. Here we go. See, you can preheat for the glow plugs. It's nice and warm outside. You can see it starts right away. It's got a bunch of different menu options. If you want to cycle through, I've only got 103 hours on it, so pretty low hours. As you can hear, the only other thing that's a little annoying about this machine is something down here rattles really bad. I don't know what it is. It's like the floorboard itself. I need to look into that. I don't know if you could hear that, but yeah, like I was saying, the floorboard, something down here rattles really bad. It only does it at low RPMs. When you rev it up, it does fine. As you can see, this is the window I went through. A little bit of a pain in the butt, but it is what it is. This one does have heat controls. It doesn't have AC, but I did find on the last job I was working on, it was really hot, maybe about 95 to 100 degrees outside. What I did was I just turned the fan on high, opened the side window here and here, got a little bit of a cross breeze. I'm not going to say it was cold because it most certainly wasn't, but it was bearable. So, you know, I think heat's a little more important, especially if you're going to do snow work and stuff like that. But yeah, I just didn't want to spend the extra money to find a unit with AC. This one I got from a dealer in Massachusetts called Ahern Equipment, I believe. If anybody's interested, they did have some of the best prices in the country on these machines, I'm not gonna lie. I drove about 9 hours or so to get this machine, and I would do it again in a heartbeat, despite the issue of the belt or whatever. I wish they would have given me a heads up on that, but you know, it is what it is. For the price I paid, I can't complain. My local dealer quoted me a little over 48,000 for this machine, brand new, with heated cab. Just as you see, it didn't have AC, and I thought that was a little bit crazy for such a small machine. I really wanted to go with ASV because I wanted something a little bit different. I've operated a ton of Bobcats and stuff, and I just wanted something a little bit different and something that was going to be small that could work for the landscape type stuff that we do. So I went with this. This one I ended up getting for, I think it was like 34,000, and it only had like 60 hours on it. So yeah, if you ask me, I think $14,000 discount for only 60 hours of use was worth the trek. So that's why I say I would do it again in a heartbeat. So yeah, that's the machine. If anybody has any questions, just feel free to either message me or leave one in the comments, and of course like and subscribe. Thanks and have a good day.